Hi, and welcome everybody to a brief introduction into cognition, language, and grammar, where we will talk about cognitive linguistics and its variety of theories. First of all, cognitive linguistics is a vast field of study originated between the late 70s and the early 80s. It's focused on the mental processes undergone in language production and communication. In this sense, the structures of language are analyzed not only as principles of categorization, but also as reflections of contextual environments. For example, linguists are interested in the interface between semantics and syntax and other cognitive processes such as schematization. These scholars believe that language collects information and categories from old experiences in order to help us deal with the new ones. Although cognitive linguistics and generative grammar both believe that a mental representation is essential for the existence of knowledge, generative grammar focuses on the human knowledge of language, while cognitive studies are interested in how natural language contributes to the knowledge of our world, that is, knowledge through language. Although there are different theories, they are all concerned about how humans produce and communicate their intentions, which involves, for example, linguistic and experiential knowledge, and also parsing, that is, analyzing, assigning words to syntactic categories and analyzing constituents at a sentential level, following theories such as minimal attachment or right association. Within cognition, parsing is interactive because it involves both syntax and semantics. Cognitive linguistics also studies how humans understand the other's intentions, and especially by analyzing coherence and cohesion mechanisms, finding out, for example, that speakers remember the essential keywords because they remember meaning better than sentence structure. Although within a cognitive approach to grammar, all the varieties in this framework focus on natural language as a mental phenomenon, where meaning and form create codependent pairings and social interaction plays an essential role. There are two central guiding assumptions. The first one is the symbolic thesis, which places this form-meaning pairing as having two poles, a semantic and a phonological one. This assumption is originated from de Saussure and his sign mapping between signifier and signified. And he believed that these were psychological entities which belong to the mental grammar in the speaker's mind. The second assumption is the usage-based theory, where symbolic units arise from language use, so knowledge would emerge from this use of language. In this sense, knowledge of language is knowledge of how language is used. Within the most relevant approaches to grammar would be the first one, cognitive grammar, developed by Langacker, who claims that closed class units are naturally meaningful, and which, along with open class units, represent knowledge of language in the mind of the speaker. The second one would be construction grammar, developed by Fillmore and Kay, who believe that grammar is modeled in terms of constructions, which are organized in networks and contain syntactic, semantic, and phonological information. While Fillmore believed that construction grammar could only be represented by non-predictable constructions, Goldberg, in her latest 2019 update, claimed that there was a need to retain a memory trace of representations in order to become a construction and therefore become easier to access unconsciously. Within construction grammar, we also find a radical construction grammar developed by Croft, which approaches syntactic theory from a typological perspective and also rejects the idea that syntactic categories are universal, claiming that they are construction specific more than language specific or universal. And finally, a third approach would be focused on grammaticalization, such as the subjectification model by Langacker, where open class units evolve into closed class units. The most relevant, even though there are many other theories within cognitive linguistics, we have just explored these ones because it would be a very vast branch of study. So thank you so much for your attention.